Day 1 escapes in Escapists 2 are not exactly as difficult as they seem to be, and usually the method to escape relies on finding the right items in time. Instead, I wanted to push the challenge further by escaping every prison while at maximum guard heat. Are all the escapes still possible when guards chase me on sight and snipers have me in their sights the instant I step outside? Unfortunately, there is no way to maintain maximum heat in the Escapists 2 due to it decaying over time. Guard behaviour is the same in the range between 80 and 100 however, so anywhere between there and guards will chase me no matter what, so if I keep my heat in that range, it will basically be the same as being at max heat. As I cannot start a prison at maximum heat, the challenge begins as soon as I reach max heat, likely by attacking the guard. Before this point, I'm not allowed to do anything that would aid in the escape, such as looting desk or crafting. With that clarified, let's start the challenge. Starting with center perks, I first need to head to Roll Call where I can attack a guard there to start the challenge and gain my heat. Once I am being chased though, the next step is looting what I need for my escape. I'm going for the Meet the Crew solo escape here, not for any particular reason, as probably any simple escape on this prison will probably work. Now all that's needed is the camera equipment and it should be all fine. Yeah, this will be more difficult than I thought it would be. Being rusty on combat is not going to be great for a challenge which is full of it. For the second attempt though, I decided to attack the guard outside myself so I could start the challenge sooner, but the overall plan remains the same. After being forced to rush the roll call to avoid lockdown, I unfortunately got the attention of too many guards and ended up having to outrun them before I was able to grab the loot I needed. With the clothes and radio receiver ready though, all I needed was to craft the camera equipment for the escape, get the attention of a guard before my heat dropped too low, and finally reach 50 intellect. With that all done, the first prison is down. Cougar Creek Railroad is a simple one. Being a transport prison means there is much less risk and easier escape methods. I don't see any of the transport prisons being a problem in this challenge, and especially not the first one. It does not matter which escape I choose between the horse method and the grappling hook method. I decided to just gather stuff for both of them and just do whichever one presented itself. The only problem with transport prisons is guards being more spaced out and staying in their own zones and stuff, so making sure that I have enough heat to get between them is kind of a priority. What is clearly becoming a problem I overlooked in this challenge is fatigue. Constantly fighting guards means I frequently run low on energy. While it is possible to stall for my energy to go back up, I've still on a time limit, meaning making use of consumables like energy drinks and adrenaline shots is the best way for me to get my energy back. Once I've got this handkerchief though, that's all the stuff I need to make a pretend carrot, and that means I can finally escape this prison. Or train. Does this really count as prison? Rattlesnake Springs is still pretty simple as all I'll need to find is an iron bar or crowbar to escape. There is now an issue with guard towers targeting me due to parts of the prison being outside. I can deal with this however by quickly moving between areas with cover, reducing the threat they cause. After cornering myself against a couple guards, I fought my way through and now have a good chance to search for a desk where I found the iron bar I needed. Now I need to head to the other side of the prison and up the stairs. But the stairs are outside and I'm already low on health, so I need to wait around a bit so the snipers don't finish me off. After a close call, I'm now ready to escape. I can quickly get the attention of a guard to get my heat back up, and now I can finally break out of here. Compare camp is when the difficulty of the challenge significantly increased. Almost all of compare camp is outside, meaning I have to play around the snipers as well as I can. The single player escape is the plan here because a perimeter breakout is impossible given there's no cover from the guard towers. This means not only do I need to get the required items, I also need to increase my intellect, which requires me running to the main building too, which of course means I'll be seen by the guard towers on the way. I'm guaranteed being sniped. With some good luck, I already found the sugar mints, found a screwdriver necessary for the vent, but it's also a decent weapon, and I found one of the 3 tins of paint. It's an easy enough job here, maintaining my high heat by moving between cells to search all the desks. I eventually find a can of soda, swiftly deal with a guard, and continue searching for the remaining paint. I leave behind a few things in the room I need to escape from, as my inventory was getting a bit full and I needed to make space for the paint buckets, but eventually I find the second one. After searching the remaining cell desk, I'm still missing one of the tins of paint, so now I need to check elsewhere. So it's time to head to the main building by rushing from the cell area to show as I can survive being sniped twice, get a bit of my medkit and shower back to full health. As I reach the main building after being sniped once more, I need to search for the last tin of paint in one of the extra desks, but before I can search them all, an inmate happened to be carrying one as a weapon, giving me the perfect opportunity to knock them out and take it. All that remains is to reach 40 intellect, while keeping my max heat by knocking out guards nearby, and once that's done, I can make my way back and try to escape. After a few close calls with many guards on my way, I safely make it back to the rest of my things, craft the makeshift ladder and the rocket thruster, remove the vent, and drop down to the motorbike where I can now leave this place. HMS Walker, the second transport prison and a pretty basic escape. I always forget the exact items I require for each of the solo escapes here, but there's not that many items are required, I can find them all pretty quickly. After taking care of the first guard, I can get a tank of oxygen and some bolts. I realise I'm getting slightly too much attention from guards and need to hide before I keep searching for the rest of the items. I can either craft a breathing apparatus or fix the jet ski to escape. After fighting my way through a bunch of guards though, I can continue searching and I managed to find the tubing, which allows me to completely fix the jet ski. I had no idea it was actually that easy. Possibly the easiest escape yet. Moving straight onto H&P Offshore, which involves a much more chaotic escape, but it's no different from a regular fast perimeter breakout for this prison. I start by searching for the red key, which luckily I find first try. What is also needed is medkits. I'll need them in order to deal with the snipers outside. I managed to find 2 medkits here, which means I can now do the proper escape. I start heading out, take a few shots here, but if I didn't have my 2 medkits, I don't think this would have been possible, as 1 medkit would not have been enough. I need this last medkit to be able to survive, because one more shot and I was done for. But anyway, I climb up guard tower and escape using the helicopter. Fort Tundra is supposed to be next, but this challenge really makes it tough. Unfortunately, I could not get a single successful attempt after the hours I spent on it, and instead just failed in many ways. The solo escape in Fort Tundra is basically just a perimeter breakout, so there's no benefit for me doing that over a regular perimeter breakout, as both need to be done at night time. Nighttime escapes in this challenge are practically impossible, as I have such little time to escape. It takes about 40 seconds to drop from 100 heat down to 80, so my escape has to be done in that amount of time. As guard dogs ensure I can't survive lockdown, the escape on Fort Tundra is just not possible. Next up is Area 17. What I immediately want to work on is getting my intellect to 60. I need to craft a security pass, which requires a blank pass, ink and a feather, and also requires 60 intellect to craft it. I had a lot of issues with guards in this prison, with them frequently spying me when I needed to get my intellect up, which makes things take a little longer. He did give me a chance to find a blank security pass while also marking which keys each guard had, which will be very important for the escape. I decided to start with searching for the ink and feather before I finished getting the intellect I needed. There was very few guards around the cell area, which was actually kind of a problem, because I had to keep running around to find them when my heat was getting low. However, the ink and feather were fairly easy to find. Once I'd got them, all that remained was getting a little bit more intellect, and the escape is ready. Now I need both a red key and cyan key for the escape. Thanks to the number of guards I've knocked out though, I know the guards which I need to find. I can then let them chase me around and bring them upstairs where, once I knock them out, I can use the keys to reach the maintenance room and steal the civilian outfit. Now to run quickly and make my escape just before the dogs get me in lockdown. A very close call. Air Force Con, the third transport prison, offers a very simple escape as transport prisons often do. By knocking out the first guard I can get started on deciding which escape I should be. My usual escape on Air Force Con is to craft a parachute, meaning I need to find 3 lengths of rope. Of course my luck doesn't let them all be on the same floor for a fast escape, so I'm going to have to do a lot of running around. I find the first rope fairly easily, but I have no more luck on this floor. On the upper floor I have a few more desks to check through in search of more rope. There are a few guards to deal with, but after dealing with them, I'll find the second rope. The guards don't cause too much trouble for this escape because I have quite a bit of open space to run around. With only one floor remaining and a few desks to go, I know I'm close to getting to the third rope. So just checking through a couple desks, managed to find it, and it's time to go pick up a bedsheet, which I forgot to grab before I left. And finally, I can craft my parachute and leave, ending our third transport prison. USS Anomaly is probably my favourite prison design, but the escape is incredibly easy and not at all difficult in this challenge either. The first step is to find a screwdriver to pass through the vents. Luckily I find one straight away in my own desk. Now I need to work my way through the vents while ensuring my heat stays high enough, but thanks to the guards being somewhat nearby, it's not too difficult to manage and I can drop down and collect the jetpack. The final step is to find the red key, which involves doing what I've done the whole challenge, knocking out every guard on site. Once I find the red key, I assumed it would be easier to enter from the top red doors as the room I have to pass through involves passing through the guard dogs or mini tanks, which I can kind of avoid by coming from the top rather than walking through the whole room from the bottom. Eventually, I can deactivate the gravity and now escape. Santa's Shakedown. This whole escape is just a fetch quest. The difficulty is determined by how easy the items are to find. I need a mince pie, a protein carrot, milk and a letter to Santa. I need to reach 40 insects as well, but it won't take that long. I get quite lucky by finding a layer on the first guard, a handkerchief and orange pen for the protein carrot, and both the jar of mince and pastry case for the mince pie. It sets me up nicely to get my intellect up, so I can make the mince pie now and place it ready to move on to the next step. I decide to go to the guard areas. I expect to find more things there. I find milk as well as a green pen to finish the protein carrot just before hiding expertly from a guard. After crafting the protein carrot, I can place it on the table along with the milk, and that leaves only the layer to Santa. I already have a layer, so now I need a Christmas list to craft it with and I'm done. Unfortunately, that's when my luck runs out as I spend ages searching every desk in the prison, knocking out many guards until I eventually find it. Yeah, this wasn't a fun fetch quest at all. Time for Snow Way Out. The solo escape here is tedious, but it's doable for the challenge. I need cardboard to make a cardboard box, 3 colours of paint, and need to access the laptop using the laptop password. I find yellow paint fairly quickly, and also a crowbar which is perfect for me to get to the laptop password. In my own desk I already had blue paint, leaving only the red paint left. I also find cardboard in a few desks that I can use, but now I have to get my intellect up. Apparently it requires 50 for a cardboard box. All the rooms of this prison have easy access to the outdoors, so I can go out to get my heat back up by using the guard towers, so heat's never really a problem. Once I have enough intellect I can craft a cardboard box, but first I decide it's better to grab the laptop password for now rather than later. Using my crowbar I can break through the wall, reach the desk to get the password that's hidden in it, and bring it back. All that remains is red paint, which I assume is in the guard area above the cells, so after being sniped in a close fight against the guard in there, I find the red paint. All that remains now is to put everything in place. The box goes down, I use all the paints, and now to access the laptop. I decide running around the back is much better as I only get sniped once rather than trying to run around the cell way where it's likely I get hit twice. Now once I make my way back, I can hide in the box and completely escape. Overall, this was a fun challenge, a fast paced but difficult one. I don't want to give up on the Fort Tundra escape though. If an escape is possible on it, it is gonna be a complicated one for sure. But anyway, hope you enjoyed, and if you did, remember to like and subscribe and that notification bell so you never miss another video, and I'll see you next time.